much more valuable. Because I think one of the things that we observe is that the adoption of AI by people in their personal life is sometimes way more significant than it is in their business life, and that's partly because they can control more things. It's slightly more fun. But when you start to think of it as a thought partner, or you start to think, I've got a very difficult tenant meeting, sure, it doesn't happen in Andrew's world, but in other less well-oiled organizations, you've got an upset tenant and you want to prepare for that thing. I find it incredibly useful for that scenario planning of just trying to script it, assume that persona of a irate customer or whatever it is, and start to think through and prepare for the conversation. Because I think most people just want to, the real estate world want to occupy the real estate without any real fuss until such time that it's becoming a problem for them or they want to do something different. And success for us is actually to become anonymous. So if you can create that bandwidth so that we become anonymous, that's actually, I think, a successful outcome, because that's when you can think of added value initiatives to your customers and to your clients.
Yeah, and you're of course seeing that, sort of in your conversations on the ground, James.
Yeah, absolutely, and in terms of the startups that I see, is another emerging thing. It's quite interesting that quite a lot of businesses now service as a software rather than software as a service. So they were in a role, they found it to be quite mundane. They saw ChatGPT, they found someone to start, to go from cover the technicalities, and they're now starting to answer some direct challenges and direct problems, which to me is quite interesting, that people are starting to think through about how to apply those tools, which is interesting.
Awesome.